This is our Chapter 3 test review, so here it is. So looking at our figure with the parallel lines M and N and the transversal T with the 8 angles, we're looking at which ones would be alternate exterior angles, and those would be 1 and 8 and 2 and 7. What would be consecutive interior angles on the same side of the transversal interiorly in 3 and 5 and 4 and 6, and corresponding angles, 2 of the 4 pairs would be 1 and 5 and 2 and 6, and we'd only need really 1 pair. So using the same set of angles, if measure 5 equals 5x plus 2 and measure 4 equals 3x plus 24, both of them being congruent because they're alternate interior angles, find the value of x that makes m parallel to n that would make them parallel. So setting them equal, 5x plus 2 equals 3x plus 24, subtract 3x, and subtract the 2 over, and we get 2x equals 22, or x equals 11. Now on the same angles, find measure of 7 if measure of 4 equals 2x plus 7, and measure 6 equals 3x minus 2, those would be consecutive interior angles, which would be supplementary. So 2x plus 7 plus 3x minus 2 equals 180, or collecting terms, 5x plus 5 equals 180, subtracting 5, 5x equals 175, dividing by 5, x equals 35, but we want to find measure of angle 7, which is equal to measure of angle 6 because they're vertical angles, and that would be 3 times 35 minus 2, or 105 minus 2, or 103. And then the proof of the alternate exterior angle theorem using the same angles, given m parallel to n, prove that angle 2 is congruent to angle 7. Well, we start with m is parallel to n given, and then angle 2 is congruent to angle 6, corresponding angle postulate. Angle 6 is congruent to angle 7, the vertical angle theorem, and angle 2 then is congruent to angle 7 by the transitive property. Now putting the corresponding angle postulate into words, which is what we need to do for 5, if 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent, and putting words to the converse of the corresponding angle postulate, if 2 lines are cut by a transversal so the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Now looking on problem 6, it says complete each statement if A, B, and C are 3 different coplanar lines. If A is parallel to B and B is parallel to C, then A is parallel to C, the transitive property of parallel lines. If A is perpendicular to B and B is perpendicular to C, then A is parallel to C, and that's the converse of the perpendicular transversal theorem. But if A is parallel to B and B is parallel to C, then A is perpendicular to C, the perpendicular transversal theorem. Now on 7, we have a whole bunch of angles, but we have 3 parallel lines, and we start out with angle 2 at the top is 28 degrees, and angle 17 near the bottom right is 73 degrees. So we first want to find angle 4, which is alternate interior angle to angle 17. So that makes angle 4 and angle 17 equal, which is 73 degrees. Now for angle 1 is in the same corresponding position as 17, so angle 1 is equal to 73 degrees. And now to find angle 6, we can say angle 6 plus angle 1 plus angle 2 is 180, or measure 6 is 180 minus angle 1 minus angle 2, or 180 minus 28 minus 73, or 79. Now measure 7 would be corresponding to angles 1 and 2 if they were added up. So measure 7 is 73 plus 28, or 101. And measure 12 and measure 17 are consecutive interior angles, so measure 12 would be 180 minus measure 12, or 180 minus 73, or 107, or 180 minus measure 17 is 180 minus 73 is 107, and measure 16 is alternate interior to angle 6, so they would be the same, and that would be 79. 6 is already found earlier in part B. Okay, now in 8 we have P and Q. Well, no, we're asking to say if angle 4 is equal to angle 8, then P is parallel to Q because of the converse of the corresponding angle postulate. And if 2 is congruent to 11, then M is parallel to N by the converse of the alternate exterior angle theorem. And if P is parallel to Q, then 4 and 7 are supplementary by the consecutive interior angle theorem. Which constructions could be used to construct a 105-degree angle? Well, the first would be constructing a line parallel to a given line and then bisecting it, which would give us 45 degrees, and then constructing a 60-degree angle, the two which would add to 105. I'm going to let you skip 10 and 11, which are using compass and protractor, because I knew that if you were in class and had followed what we did in class, you'd be able to do it. So I'm just going to say don't worry about it for this at-home test. Then question 12 is the distance between -2, -6, and 2, 1. And we use our distance formula, x minus x squared plus y minus y squared. So parentheses, -2 minus 2 squared plus parentheses -6 minus 1 squared is equal to -4 squared plus -7 squared is equal to 16 plus 49 square root is equal to square root of 65. Now to find the midpoint between -12, -3, and 9, 9, we take x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y1 over 2, giving us -12 plus 9 over 2 and -3 plus 9 over 2, which gives us an answer of -3/2 and 6 over 2, or 3. Now to find the slope between those 2 points, we can take 9 minus -3 over 9 minus -12, which gives us 12 over 21, and if we divide both by 3, we get 4 over 7 for our slope. Now on 14, we have 3 lines which we want slopes for. The slope of R is horizontal, so it has a slope of 0. The slope of S goes down 2 from its y-intercept and right 3 to its x-intercept, so it has a slope of -2/3 for S. And the slope of T is straight up and down, which is, if I had numbers for it, it would be some number over 0, which is undefined. So a vertical line has an undefined slope. Now for 15, we want to write 3x plus 5y equals -10 in slope-intercept form, which means y equals mx plus b, and graph. So we subtract 3x and gives us 5y equals -3x minus 10, and divide everything by 5, which gives us y equals -3/5 x minus 2. Now the way we graph that is we go to the y-intercept of -2 and go down 3, right 5 to the next point, and go from -3 up 3, left 5 to the other point, and then we can get 3 points and make a nice line between those 3 points. For number 16, we're to state the x and y intercepts of 3x minus 4y equals 12 and graph. So for the x-intercept, we have 12 over 3 because 4y is zeroed. So that gives us the x-intercept of 4, 0. For the y-intercept, we have -4y over 12, which gives us y is 12 over -4, or 0, -3, because x is zeroed. And so graphing that, we would put 0, -3, the y-intercept, and 4, 0, the x-intercept, and then just graph a line through those 2 points. For 17, we're going to write the equation of the line through 2, 3, parallel to y equals 3x plus 7. So if we're parallel to a y equals 3x plus 7, our slope is 3 and our point is 2, 3 for x and y. So plugging into y equals mx plus b, we have 3 for y equals 3 for slope times 2 times for x plus b, or 3 is equal to 6 plus b, or b is equal to negative 3. And plugging back in what the slope and the b is for the line, we have y equals 3x minus 3. Now for 18, we want to find x given that a is negative 2, 5, b is 1, negative 4, and c is x negative 3, and that the line segment AB is perpendicular to the line segment BC. So the slope for AB would be negative 4 minus 5 over 1 minus negative 2, which would be negative 9 over 3 is negative 3. And we know that if AB is negative 3, then 1 over 3 is perpendicular. BC would have to be 1 over 3 to be perpendicular to negative 3. So we already know what the slope of BC is. But doing the points, negative 3 minus negative 4 over x minus 1 would be 1 over x minus 1 equals 1/3, and cross multiplying, x minus 1 equals 3, or just x equals 4 to make the two lines perpendicular. And now 19, a tour for a large group is $3,250, reduced by $5 per person. So what is the rate of change or the slope? Well, that's just negative 5. Write a linear equation for a price p with a group of n people. P is equal to negative 5n plus 3250. What is the group rate for 75 people? P is equal to negative 5 times 75 plus 3250, which is 2875. Just use your calculator. And if the charge is 2,500, how many people are in the group? So 2,500 equals negative 5n plus 3250. Subtract 3250 from both sides. Negative 750 equals negative 5n. Divide by negative 5 both sides. And n equals 150 people. And the last problem on this, Emma, is given that AB and CD are parallel, we want to prove that angle 2 in the upper right corner is congruent to angle 16 in the lower left corner. So for our statements and reasons, A is parallel to B, C is parallel to D given. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 10, corresponding angle postulates. And 10 is congruent to 16, alternate exterior angle theorem. And therefore 2 is congruent to 16 by transitive property. And so this is the end of the review. And I'm emailing the test. So take this and send this back as soon as you can from home. And I sure hope you come back Monday. God bless you, Emma. Take care of yourself. I hope you